Hello everyone, today is Sunday the 21st of May, my name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation, and today we'll be covering the Xbox news that has been going on for this week. Right, before we begin, just a quick reminder to claim the games with gold that are on offer for this month. These are Star Wars Racer, which expires on May the 31st, and Hoa, which expires on June 15th. Additionally, there are 5 games that are leaving Game Pass this month, so make sure to claim these now. These are FIFA 21, Europa Universalis, Evil Genius 2 World Domination, Floppy Knight, and Lawn Mowing Simulator. Remember to take advantage of your Game Pass discounts so you can keep playing these games and have them in your library forever. So with that out of the way, we have an incredibly busy week in terms of Xbox news. So first up, we have the Game Pass games that have been announced for the rest of May and early into June. Alongside that, we have more news on the ABK deal, and with that, we have Mortal Kombat finally coming back to Xbox consoles this year. First up, we have the bi-weekly announcement for the Game Pass games that are coming for the remainder of May and into early June. There are 8 new titles that have been confirmed, with one being an Xbox exclusive, and I'll chuck those on screen for you now. We do have a couple of standout titles that are coming this month, and as you can see, we are finally getting FIFA 23 arriving courtesy of EA Play, and the brand new Xbox third-party exclusive Planet of Lana dropping on the 23rd of May. I think this is a pretty okay showing from Xbox, but nothing too extravagant. It's great that we're finally seeing FIFA 23 though, as Team of the Season is currently ongoing and all of you football fans can jump in, especially being part of that big season. Additionally, I'm actually really excited myself for Planet of Lana when this finally drops on May 23rd. I think it's been a little while since we've had a great indie gem arrive onto Game Pass, and I cannot wait. There have been some reviews that have dropped so far, with one of them being a 9 out of 10. I never expected this game to miss at all, so definitely stay tuned for my review when it comes out very soon. Now, in addition to the Game Pass news that did drop on Tuesday, we had an additional game that shadow dropped onto the service, and it's a pretty good one. Superland 6 Feet Under is the second game in the series and aims to improve on everything from the first installment. This is a first-person Metroidvania-inspired title, and it's well worth a go if you have Game Pass. I will be covering a review on this game over the next few days, so stay tuned to the channel for when that drops. Still on the subject of Game Pass, we had a couple of games that are and could be arriving onto the service very soon. The first is Slayers X Terminal Aftermath Vengeance of the Slayer, which launches on June 1st on Xbox and PC. I'm not gonna lie, I have absolutely no idea what this game is about, rather than it's a pretty odd looking FPS title, and it's inspired by many games from the 90s. This is a spin-off from the old Hypnospace games, and I think many from that era will be pleased to see this game coming to Xbox. The other title that potentially could be coming to Game Pass very soon is Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Do take this announcement with a tiny pinch of salt, as we definitely don't have confirmation at the moment, and it was actually revealed on a Game Pass advertisement for a Japanese console. This would be a very good get for the service, especially as simulator titles are certainly the rage at the moment. This game essentially puts you in charge of your own company as you fix, buy and sell cars, with the game taking pride in the fact that you can fix everything down to a single nut and bolt. Quite an interesting title, and I'll bring you more updates when they're announced. Well, that was a very big section just on Game Pass alone, but now we'll dive into the ABK news. I know many of you probably don't want to hear about this, it's been going on for so long now, but we have had some major breakthroughs, so we'll cover across those right now. First is the announcement that the EU Commission has approved the proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft. This doesn't come without its requirements though, and Microsoft will now have to bring all Activision Blizzard games automatically across to competing cloud gaming services. These competitors include the likes of GeForce Now, Utomic, and Blacknut. The Commission did state that this acquisition won't harm rival consoles or multi-game subscription services, which is fantastic news, especially as that's what the head of PlayStation, Jim Ryan, has been spouting for quite some while. I think it's great we are finally getting a commission that is using common sense and doing an in-depth analysis into this merger. Unfortunately, after this short announcement by the EU, we did get another announcement from the CMA, and yeah, it wasn't any good news whatsoever. Again, the CMA have doubled down on their rejection of the acquisition, and it still keeps stating that cloud gaming is the area of concern and that it needs to be a free competitive market. What really confuses me about this is that Microsoft are complying with any changes and bringing games into rival cloud gaming services without any complaints at all. It's a very weird situation, and the CMA arguments seem very out of touch with the current gaming landscape. What weirds me out about the CMA statement is is that with the cloud gaming aspect, it's bringing more games to more consumers, and approving this deal would mean that even more people can play Activision and Microsoft games. So I really think the CMA need to rethink this deal. With then stating that cloud gaming is free when it's not, and not understanding that the acquisition would bring more choice to consumers, it's kind of bewildering to me, but hopefully we see this turnaround in the near future. Next is that China has also followed the EU regulators down the same route and also unconditionally approved the deal. This is a huge step in the acquisition, as many thought that China could potentially be a party that declines the deal due to the NetEase saga that caused so much controversy over the past couple of years. What's awesome is that China are now the 37th country to approve this deal, and that means that more than 2 billion gamers will be able to get access to the Xbox platform. Now, one big bit of news that did actually really excite me as a user of the platform is that Gears 5 has launched onto GeForce Now. As you may have been seeing over the Twitter space over the past few days, you may have seen that GeForce Now have partnered with Microsoft to bring games to their platform. Finally, we're seeing the fruits of that labour, as Gears of War 5 is now available right now on GeForce Now. This means that you can play Gears 5 right now through the cloud on Nvidia's 4090 powered data centres, and in turn the visuals just look utterly stunning. I've chucked a video on screen now of a comparison between Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now 4090 tier from my friends at the channel Cloud Gaming Extreme. As you can see, the 4090 tier certainly brings out the beauty of Gears 5, and the fact that it's all over cloud is just absolutely phenomenal. With Gears 5 being the first Xbox game coming to the service, there has also been an announcement that Pentiment, Deathloop and Grounded will also be arriving on 25th of May, with more games coming shortly after. If you want to see more GeForce Now and Xbox coverage, make sure to let me know in the comments below, and I'll certainly cover that area if there's enough interest. Now, our next segment is just going across the Xbox console sales over the past 128 days, and it's actually been a very good time for Microsoft recently, and it shows the strength of the Xbox Series consoles into this generation. So far over the last 128 weeks, the Xbox Series S and X sales have increased, and they've now sold over 2 million consoles in that time frame. That is a staggering amount for these newer consoles, and it seems as though demand is still there, and I expect that to increase towards the holiday season, especially with the release of Starfield and some more potential new games we have yet to see at the Xbox showcase. What is cool is that these consoles are the 8th fastest selling home console in my home country, the UK. It's great to see Xbox still doing well this generation, and I only expect them to continue growing. In terms of growth, we also received some player numbers this week, courtesy of the developers over at Cucumber. As you may know, they recently released their brand new title into Game Pass, Ravenlock, and it seems to have gone down pretty well with gamers across the board. They announced that so far the player count has exceeded 250,000 players within its first week of release. That is so fantastic in terms of numbers for such a talented indie team, and Echo Generation and Ravenlock have certainly been two of my most favourite games this generation. I highly recommend that you try either one of these, as one of them's in Game Pass, but one of them will still require a purchase. Now, one bit of news that I did want to cover over today is that I myself have partnered with Xbox and FameHype.gg to bring you my brand new website, Xbox Nation. All you have to do is follow the link down in the description below at xboxnation.co.uk, and this will take you to the brand new site where you can purchase anything from gift cards, Game Pass subscriptions and games. More games will be listed on the site as time goes on, and let me know if there's any that you want to see on the site, as it really does help me expand on this website. As an introductory offer, you can also use code XboxNation5 in all capitals to get 5% off any purchase. Well, as I mentioned previously, it has been a massive week in terms of game announcements, and 2 games that have been announced this week are absolutely staggering. The first is pretty big in terms of game announcements, and that is the final confirmation that we're getting Mortal Kombat 1 in September this year. This is the first trailer we have seen so far and confirms the return of some familiar faces, such as Liu Kang, Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, etc. This time they do look quite different from the combatants that players have known for over the past 30 years, as Mortal Kombat 1 is set in a reborn Mortal Kombat universe. This looks like such a cool reimagining for the series, and the developers have stated that there will be a new fighting system, game modes and more brutal fatalities. It did get a release date at the end of the trailer, and it comes to Xbox Series consoles on September 19th this year. In addition to the announcement of the Mortal Kombat 1 game, we also got the financial reports from Zynga Interactive about their next financial years, and this does hint heavily at a GTA release in the 2024 to 2025 period. Zynga did have their yearly earnings report, and it shows that for the fiscal year of 2025 to 2026, they're expecting a massive jump in terms of revenue and profit. Usually they look at hitting the 3 billion mark, but during this period they're now looking to hit the mammoth 8 billion mark. Obviously Zynga has had quite a few acquisitions, however none of them have made up the amount that are projected to hit in that financial period. This is making a sort of concrete confirmation that we will see the next GTA game in that period, and that starts as early as April 2024. This gives us an idea of what we could expect in that period, and that would be phenomenal. Again, this isn't concrete information, so take it with a pinch of salt at this time. One game that I'm very excited for that looks like it could be coming this year or into early 2024 is Arc Raiders. This game was revealed last year as a free-to-play third-person sci-fi shooter, and to be honest, I was absolutely hooked on the reveal instantly. With that, we had confirmation that Arc Raiders this week will be coming to Xbox Series consoles on release, which is massive news. I will bring more updates on this game as they drop, so stay tuned for the channel for that. Now, one game that I get personally asked for a lot, and I see a lot of Xbox fans asking for, is knowing if Stray is finally going to be arriving onto Xbox consoles this year. You might remember this game launching a little while back on PlayStation, and it launched to critical and commercial acclaim, and it's clear to see why. Well, we got a confirmation this week that Stray has been rated on ESRB for Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles. I played this game a while ago when it launched onto PlayStation, and it was a very well made and creative indie IP. The story is excellent, the visuals for an indie title like this are exceptional, and the game never really outstayed its welcome. Well, that was a pretty good week in terms of Xbox news overall. Let me know what your favourite bit of news is in the comments below. Whilst here, also check the video on the screen right now of 30 of the best games coming to Game Pass day one for the remainder of 2023.